Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you. Oh, hallelujah, sister. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello, beloveds. Wow, so this is a first for me, doing a talk on my birthday. Wow, or as Thich Nhat Hanh would say, continuation day. Happy continuation day to me and to you. Here we are. It's a beautiful day to be alive, isn't it? Wow, what a great day. We've got a lot going on here today, don't we? It's pretty awesome. Who brought the flowers? Oh, thank you. So beautiful. It's such a great day. So we are continuing here with our October Seed of Awakening. For the month is finances. And last week, I talked about giving and giving a little extra. And I heard back from a couple of people, kind of pushed a couple people's buttons. That's a good thing, right? That is a great thing. And so today is about receiving. So, last week was really all about getting into the flow and how do we get into the flow, but by removing that stagnation, and we can eliminate stagnation in our lives by giving and receiving. So there are so many of us I know who are totally cool with giving, like we can give. In fact, we'll give until we're depleted. But when it comes to receiving, then we may have a challenge. Can anyone relate to that just a little bit? Yes, right. Yeah. And so talking about giving and receiving, it's not just about giving money, it's about everything, giving of your time, giving of your presence, giving of your PRESENCE, giving of your love, your energy, your time and talent, all of that, right? And so today we have experienced giving and receiving, so you're all giving me your attention here. Thank you for waking up and coming here and giving your attention to the musicians. And there have been volunteers and staff who have given so much to bring this into existence this morning. And we've also received, haven't we? We received the beauty and joy of our talented musicians. Let's give them some more love. Woohoo! Thank you, beloveds. You're amazing. And so the topic for today is, are you ready to receive? Now, I love this topic because RURTR is a mnemonic that we teach in Foundations class, which is the very first class that students take when they come to our community. And that actually means, are you ready to receive? That's your mnemonic for remembering the 5 steps of what the science of mind teaches as spiritual mind treatment. And the science of mind, if you're new, is the teaching of Ernest Holmes. And so there you go. This is a leather-bound book, by the way. I love this book because it's got a concordance in the back. Wow, it's so cool. So I looked up in the concordance the word receptive, and I found that receive, receptive, and receptivity are listed 58 times. And so I had a great time going through, and I marked a couple of kind of meaningful quotes to share with you today. But back to RURTR. So that is the mnemonic for that 5-step spiritual mind treatment or affirmative prayer. And so I'm going to ask you, are you ready to receive? Yes. I'm going to ask you again, are you ready to receive? Yes. Are you really ready to receive? Yes. Yes. There should be a thunderous yes. Woo. So, all right, Jody's pounding her feet over there. She's ready. So looking at treatment here in the Science of Mind glossary on page 638 of this textbook, Ernest Holmes tells us that treatment is the art, the act, and the science of consciously inducing thought within the universal subjectivity for the purpose of demonstrating that we are surrounded by a creative medium which responds to us through a law of correspondence. That's a lot of words. In its more simple meaning, treatment is the time, process, and method necessary to the changing of our thought. Treatment is clearing the thought of negation, of doubt and fear, and causing it to perceive the ever-presence of God. It's good stuff. And so spiritual mind treatment is about growing spiritually. And the intention is to grow spiritually for the sheer love of God. Don't be confused. Treatment is not just about getting something. It's about growing. It's about us remembering who we are, and at the very core of our being, knowing that Spirit is here right now and is always with us. And so in spiritual mind treatment, we're making an adjustment, right? We're making a mental adjustment, just like the chiropractor. Anybody go to the chiropractor here? I need to go, yeah, right? Yeah, so the chiropractor makes an adjustment for us, right? The chiropractor doesn't create something within us, it just realigns us. And so the same is true for spiritual mind treatment. Prayer makes us aware of what's already there. I love that. Prayer makes us aware of what's already there. So that tells me that when we're in this form of prayer, we're tuning in to what is already the truth of our being. We don't have to create something. It's already true for us. It's already true that you are loved and adored by Spirit. You have everything that you need. All of your needs are met. This life is yours, and you were birthed into existence to experience the love, the harmony, the joy, the prosperity, all the good that you couldn't even imagine is yours, just because you were birthed into existence. Isn't that wonderful? I know, right? So prayer makes us aware of what's already there, and so we move into these 5 steps of spiritual mind treatment. The first being recognition. And now in Foundations, we're taught a very basic level of this understanding. Recognition is recognizing that Spirit is all that there is. Like we really get and know and claim and affirm, declare and decree that there's only one thing happening here and now, and it is God, or whatever you call it, Spirit, source, the thing itself, the truth. And so there's that declaration, right? But what we really want to do is move into a feeling state of knowing and understanding this truth, so it's not just words, like the song that was sung about abundance. It's not just a word, it's the truth, and we feel it and we know it and experience it. And so recognition is like you're experiencing this healthy state of awe. Remember a time when you had a spiritual awareness, an insight, or a revelation where something just clicked and you knew that you knew, and it was like this holy moment? You want to imagine those moments. Imagine something that happened in your awareness and you were changed forever. Remembering a time that you were in the zone or you had an epiphany and it was that aha moment that you felt connected and something opened up and transformed. You've all had one of those, at least one of those, right? Yeah, that's why you keep coming back. So it's really getting in touch with that space and expanding on that and feeling that there is only one thing happening right now, and it is Spirit. And you're in that space of awe. You're in that space of knowing that Spirit is all that there is, and that you know beyond the process of reasoning that something wonderful is happening right here. So recognition is recognition of that awe of Spirit, that isness and beauty and intelligence of God. So we become in awe with Spirit. We become in awe with all of those qualities of Spirit that we can imagine, like love, peace, bliss, ecstasy, joy, harmony, abundance, vitality, wholeness, health, vigor, beauty. Wow, just saying those words feels good, right? Yeah, gratitude and anything that I didn't name that comes up for you. We're in awe with these qualities, so we're really present now to this recognition of spirit. And then we move into the second step, the U, which is unification. And so we have recognized and we're in this healthy state of awe that spirit is all that there is, and it is all of these qualities that we can imagine and can't imagine, like the peace that passes human understanding. I don't understand it, it passes my understanding, right? But we're in that state of awareness, yes? And we move into, well, if God is all that there is and I am, this is our unification stage. So principle says that God is everywhere in its fullness, and God cannot divide itself into parts. So that which is infinite does not divide itself into parts, which means that it is everywhere present in its fullness. It's here right now. It's right where you are. It's right where you are. Right where you are, Zoomers. It's right where you are. It is everywhere present in its fullness. It's not like I have more of it present in me than you, or you, or you. It's everywhere present in its fullness. And so the interesting thing is that the surface mind cannot grasp that, right? Because it doesn't make a lot of sense on the surface level, but quantum physically, you can grasp it. Quantum physically, you can grasp that. Mystically, you can grasp that. You can grasp it in your meditation when everything else falls away and it is you and the silence of your own mind and spirit, and it is holy. You remember there is something that is everywhere present. It is in me and it is in the person sitting next to me, and it is the same. This is unification, yes? So like the ocean, spirit doesn't divide itself into parts. It might reveal itself as a wave from time to time, but ultimately it's everywhere present in its fullness. So the presence of God, of love intelligence that is governing the universe, is everywhere present in its fullness. You don't have a part of God in you. You are the fullness of God right where you are. That's powerful. So it's where we are. Now we can begin to contemplate that if God is everywhere, if all that I'm recognizing is everywhere, then all of it must be right where I am. That's unification. God is all there is in that healthy state of awe and magnificence, and that is right where I am too. So now I'm identifying with the presence. I'm identifying with all of these qualities of spirit that I have imagined it to be or projected out into this mighty, magnificent thing, and realizing, oh, it's right here. How cool is that? That's unification. Then we move into the next R, which is realization. And now when we get into this stage of realization, we get into recognizing the permanence of the thing that we're stating. So this is where we state an affirmation of what we're experiencing in the present moment. So this is where inspiration comes in. So we know that as divine ideas of God flow through us, they inspire us. And the ideas that actually come from this thing, this Godhead, is the love intelligence that governs the universe. We recognize that those are permanent. They're unchangeable. Yes? And so in that unchangeable, we can make a declaration for it and have the experience of it in our own lives. So these are forever, right? Unchanging. They proliferate the entire environment. They're proliferating the environment right now. We just can't see it because we're tuned into something else, you know? And so our job, our task is to tune into that thing, tune into that presence, and that's how we use spiritual mind treatment to help us tune in. And so there's a moment when the word that you speak is done in consciousness. And so that occurs in prayer. And when you speak the word into existence, it's already done. There's that moment where, I say name it and claim it, right? It's a little deeper than that. That's a surface thing. Name it and claim it, to remind us that whatever we're speaking about, whatever we're talking about, we're naming it and claiming it all the time, yes? And so once we speak it, it's done in consciousness. And so if we can alter and shift the way we're speaking in moments, every moment, we can begin to transform our lives to experience the beauty of spirit. So there's a book called The Agony and the Ecstasy by Irving Stone. Has anyone heard of it? I know Kristen has. A few. Our resident librarian. Retired librarian, right? What? Hasn't everybody read that, she said? So that book is by Irving Stone, and the author was thinking of Michelangelo sculpting David, and he surmised that Michelangelo was trying to determine the most important moment of David's life for that sculpture. And he wondered, what was the most important moment in his life? Now, David obviously had many important moments occur, like when he killed Goliath. But ultimately, Irving Stone believed that the most important moment in David's life was the moment he knew he could kill Goliath. Not the moment he actually killed Goliath, but when he knew, when he caught the idea, when the idea came to him and he thought he could do it, in that moment it was done in consciousness. That was the most important moment, and the moment that Michelangelo captured in his sculpture of David. So it's that moment in consciousness that's like, it's done. I get it. I got it. That's it. Everything after that is just the unfoldment of that moment in consciousness of knowing that it's done. So that's our realization, right? So in the foundations class, we learned that realization, we state it as an affirmative statement, as if it's already happening. It's not past, it's not future, it's present. It's already happening right now in this moment. And so we're naming it and claiming it, but feeling it too, right? Just like that moment for David, when we catch that idea, whatever it is, because sometimes we're experiencing a less than magnificent day, right? Anyone? Or as a friend of mine likes to say, but what if it's a horrible, terrible, very bad, no good day? Which those happen sometimes. It is in those days, if we can allow ourselves, feel our feelings, and then tune into this presence. But what if something wonderful is actually happening, even though it appears not to be to me in this moment? What if something magnificent is happening? What if something is unfolding for my highest and greatest good? It must be, because that is the nature of my existence. I didn't come here to be beat up and taken down. I came here to shine. I came here to thrive. I came here to be all that I can be and more. So that is realization. That knowingness and affirmation and really getting it's already done. So that is also a shift in consciousness, because if we're affirming something that's not totally true, or we don't have the experience of it yet, there's a small part of us that might go, yeah, but it's not my experience right now. Well, you can let go of the yeah buts. Save those for later. And that is one of the things that is sometimes a challenge, is in us getting to that place of recognition, unification, and realization. And then we spend some time wrestling our minds away from the yeah buts. And we wrestle away and we wrestle away. And we do that by going into our prayer, going into our meditation, and being present to the truth. And then we have Thanksgiving. So we've got recognition, unification, realization, Thanksgiving. We're giving thanks for all of this and the experience in our lives right now. I like to give thanks for everything that I have experienced in my life, all the blessings that I see and know of, the blessings of the flowers and the people here today and the beauty of all of you, for example, and all of the blessings that are here right now, and the invisible blessings that are on their way. Those blessings that I don't even know about that show up, right? In a phone call, in an encounter, in an email, or whatever. You know, there's invisible blessings that are waiting for us today, and when we leave here. How cool is that? It's like the universe is conspiring for our highest and greatest good. It's the truth. So we give thanks. And then we go into release. We release our prayer knowing it is done. And we release it and take our hands off of it. We don't release it like, well, you can have this book. Well, you know, maybe not. Well, maybe not. Maybe not, right? Sometimes we release, but we don't totally 100% release. And I like to imagine it's like you are releasing your prayer. It's like putting a letter or a card into the mailbox and putting that flag up. Do they even have flags anymore? We live in a condo with different setting. So you put, does anybody even use snail mail? Anyway, you put something in the mailbox or you drop it off at the post office, but you put it in the mailbox and you trust in this authority that is the USPS, right? You trust that it will be delivered and expect it to be delivered in a timely fashion, right? In a timely fashion. Just like when you order something from Amazon. How many of you are Amazon shoppers? Right? Everyone, just about. You order something from Amazon and you have Prime delivery. You're expecting that in 2 days. You expect it. And sure enough, it shows up. That is the level that we are getting to in our release. I release it. I take my hands off of it and have as much trust in the universe as I do in the USPS and Amazon Prime, right? At least. It will be delivered. And you don't have to think about it again. You just are filled with giddy, joyful jubilation when that knock on the door comes or you open your front door to leave and there's a box. There is your prayer manifested. So that's the 5 steps. I wanted to share that since the mnemonic is there and today's topic is, are you ready to receive? And so that is a perfect mnemonic for this 5-step spiritual mind treatment prayer because really, are you ready to receive? RURTR. And so a lot of this is about getting ourselves into a position to be receptive. So there's so many offers made to us on a daily basis, right? So many offers for our good. Offers in the form of time, talent, love, treasure, you know, people who maybe want to share some beautiful words with you or share some of their time with you or whatever that is. There are just offers ongoing. Whether if you live at home with your partner, they may approach you and want to share something wonderful with you. They're offering their presence. They're offering a love, even though you may be busy. Sometimes we do that though, right? Like, I'm doing something. You're laughing because it's true. I'm focused here, right? But if we can get present to this person is offering us something and it's going to take 30 or 60 seconds maybe to offer, to receive that offer of presence is so beautiful. So can we do that, you know? Give ourselves the space to be receptive. And being receptive is also about presence and then opening our minds, right? Sometimes we know what to do, when to do, how to do it, and when to do it. And we do it. But what if there's another way? No. if we're saying no to another way, we're not open-minded. We're not keeping ourselves open at the top, as Ernest Holmes liked to say. And so if we are closed-minded and can only see with our tunnel vision the way that we know how to do it, there may be a better way. And so we're called to be open in our minds. And as we can open up our minds to new possibilities, new goodness comes to us. It comes in such mighty and magnificent ways. And so getting into that position, now I think I've shared the story before, but I want to share it again because it was so powerful for me when I learned it. And it was about when I was a little girl, my parents owned a speedboat, and my dad named it Yellow Fever, and it was this awesome speedboat. It's all sparkly with 70s paint. And yellow and silver, and my mom, dad, and brother took turns water skiing, and they were really good at skiing, even my brother, who is 2 years older than I am. And I was about 7, and they tried to teach me a few times, and I just wasn't getting it. For some reason, they would explain the process to me, and then they would take off. I'm sitting in the water, holding the rope. They'd take off fast, and I would just go straight underwater. Oh, I'm supposed to let go of the rope? Whoops. And so finally, they said, we can't do this anymore. We're scared. What if she doesn't come up out of the water? She's just holding on to the rope for some reason. It's funny now because I'm still here, right? It has a good ending, yes. But they were so concerned that I would drown, so no more. And so fast forward 30 years later, I hadn't tried it for 30 more years. And I'm out at the Delta with my good friends David Bruner and his partner Mauricio Lopez. And these guys were great water skiers. I watched them just go, and they were so graceful, and wow, they had it down. And they asked me if I wanted to try it. And I said, well, I never really learned how to ski, and I shared what happened the last time I tried, but these guys were convinced they could teach me, and so I was open to it. I was open to give it a try. So I got out there, I got into position, I'm holding the rope out in front of me, my skis are pointing up with my knees slightly bent, and then you say, hit it. They hit it. The boat's moving fast, here we go. I can feel myself about to pop up out of the water, and instinctively, I try to get myself up. Try to stand up on my own skis, right? Anybody try that? Try to do it on my own. So the boat circles around, I fall. The boat circles around, I get 2 more attempts. I'm eager and ready to do this, and I think I have to do something, and it just doesn't happen. I don't know all this in the moment, though. I'm just wondering why it's not working. The next person's turn comes up, and they get to try it. Whoops, excuse me. And boom, they're up, and it's so easy. And then my turn comes up again, and the guys actually give me a lesson this time on the back of the boat, and which is me seated in a position, and then they tell me the boat is going to speed up, and you're going to stay in position and wait. What? I'm going to stay in position and wait. And then Mauricio said some very powerful words to me. Stay in position and be ready. The boat will pull you up, but you have to let the boat do the work. Whoa, powerful. Stay in position, the boat will pull you up, but you have to let the boat do the work. How does that relate to spiritual mind treatment, right? Get into position, get your mind right, get into position and into the receptive posture. The law will do the work. God will do the work. We don't need to make things happen. We do need to make them welcome. So let the boat do the work. Spiritually speaking, let God do the work. Get into the position and be ready. Get into your receptive posture and be ready. Mentally, you can practice physically. this is not receptive. If we have our hands clenched, if we have too much on our plate, if our mind is full, we are not able to be receptive. We've got to open our hands, open our minds, clear off our plates, and become receptive to all the good that is available here and now. Today we have some awesome goodness, continued awesome goodness available. Not just here, we've got this awesome bake sale and artist market. You're going to hear more about that in a few minutes. We've got prayer practitioner available for after the service. We're going to have some amazing music again, and we're going to receive all of this good and get ourselves filled up and inspired. We've got the mental equivalent. Your classes. Oh, yeah. Awesomeness. My class. Yes, thank you, Travis. This is my husband, everybody. He was flashing me the mental equivalent booklet. Hey, let me see that. We have a class going on right now. It's 5 weeks, and we already had the first week, and we have a lot of students, and it's great, but we have a recording, so if you want to be in this class and you missed the first week, you can listen to the recording and jump in on Tuesday. But I love this class for many reasons. It's my favorite topic, the mental equivalent, and it's got the smallest book ever. Smallest book ever. But rich with info. Here you go. Thank you, honey. All right. So I'm going to invite the musicians to come up and prepare to close us out. So we want to get into position and be receptive. Michael Beckwith says, assume the receptive posture. So you can spend time daily feeling open, having your hands open and feeling that openness, and that receptivity. And then as you go out from here, you're going to experience so much good, and be aware of the offers that are being made to you. So I studied improv for a while, and one of the rules of improv was you have to accept every offer. So when you get into comedy, sometimes people offer you something and you just are like, no. But they offer you a line, and you have to take that line and do something with it. Like, it's yes and, not no. No, thank you, that doesn't work for me. It's yes and. And so you continue that beauty. You are receptive and accepting of the offers that are coming to you. So, a reminder that there comes to each one of us the logical and exact result of our own receptivity, the mental equivalent. How big is your container? How receptive are you? Are you approaching the altar of God with a thimble? Or are you approaching the altar of God with a huge ship loaded with giant cargo containers to be filled? Or an even greater vessel? That was the greatest vessel I could think of. How receptive of truth are you? Do you know, understand, accept, believe, recognize, and embody that there is a divine presence and power and law responding to your word? Please repeat after me. I know. And I know that I know. I believe. And I am conscious that I believe. I am confident of the power of my own word. And I have implicit reliance upon the truth. I expect the truth to operate. And now you speak your truth into existence. You can stop repeating after me now. This is when, sorry, I wasn't clear. This is when you speak your truth into existence. I am love. I am joy. I am peace. I am harmony. I am wholeness. I am rich. Say that one. I'm rich. I'm rich. I'm rich. All right. So, friends, in conclusion, are you ready to receive? Yes. Get into that receptive posture this week in your prayer, meditation, affirmation, spiritual study. Accept the offers being given and say yes. Let's turn our attention inward. And know with me that right here, right now, is the presence of Spirit. It is within me and within everybody. And I approach the altar of God with the greatest vessel I can imagine. I am open, I am receptive, I am available to the truth. I identify with this presence, I identify and merge with it, and know that everything I imagine Spirit to be, I also am. And every individual I encounter today is a reflection of the presence of Spirit within me. Mirror, mirror on the wall. I am you, and you are me after all. And so as we move through this week, we are receptive. We are receptive to all of the good being offered, and we say yes to it. And in doing so, we have an experience beyond our wildest imagination. The life that we love, a life that we imagined for ourselves. And I am grateful as I release this prayer, knowing it is so. I let it go, and so it is. Thank you.